Hello everyone, my name is Vinny Civitello and I have an unhealthy love of movies, my favorite of which is Back to the Future. And while this happens to be the 35th anniversary of Back to the Future Part 1, it's also the 30th anniversary of Back to the Future Part 3. And to celebrate, we're going to do something stupid. See, one of my favorite scenes from Back to the Future Part 3 is when Doc Brown, despondent over losing Clara, takes a shot of whiskey, loses all his HP, and immediately faceplants right on the floor. But he and Marty have to catch a train, and quick. So Marty is looking for a sober-up, quick recipe, and while he asks for coffee, Chester the bartender and his assistant Joey mix up a batch of what they call wake-up juice.
Joey, let's make some wake-up juice.
Now, we never really get the recipe on screen in the movie, but I like to overthink movies, and this is no exception. So we're going to overthink this a little bit and mix up a batch of our own. Because Back to the Future 3 is less a reference point for 1880s America and more a love letter to old Western movies, think they don't so much go back to the past as they drive directly into a movie theater screen a la Last Action Hero. Wake Up Juice, all the same, is a reference to an old film. In El Dorado, John Wayne needs to sober someone up real quick, and one of his comrades remembers old Johnny Diamond, who had a recipe of his own. Cayenne pepper, hot mustard, ipecac, asafoetida, croton oil, and gunpowder. Yeah, no. So what's in Chester and Joey's version? I consulted some sources, namely the movie, the script, the novelization, Bob Gale's audio commentary, and Futurepedia, and here's what we came up with. In the Paradox script, we see that it says, Cut 2, a bottle of Tabasco sauce. The Tabasco is on the bar. Next to it, a jar of jalapeno juice, a bottle of mustard seed, some cayenne pepper, part of an onion, and vinegar. The bartender is mixing the ingredients in a glass. Then, on page 187 of the official novelization, Craig Shaw Gardner writes, Joey, he instructed, get me some Tabasco sauce, cayenne pepper, onion, chili peppers, and mustard seed. The young fellow nodded and ran into the back room as the bartender reached beneath the polished wooden shelf and pulled out a bottle of vinegar and part of an onion. So for the most part, the script and the novelization seem to agree on the recipe, with the exception of the jalapeno juice from one and the chili pepper from the other. I tried consulting the audio commentary with Bob Gale to see if he had any insight on it, but he just muses that things like Wake Up Juice were things that bartenders probably knew how to make in 1885, perhaps with ingredients that have since been outlawed today. Futurepedia extrapolates that he's probably talking about things like cocaine. But if I'm not willing to ingest ipecac and gunpowder from the Johnny Diamond recipe, I'm certainly not dropping the White Lady into this. So let's see what's in the movie. What we can clearly see in the film is first a bottle of Tabasco sauce hits the counter. Then a green mystery bottle, we'll come back to that later. We see a bottle of cayenne pepper, they start pouring in the jalapeno juice, chili pepper flake is picked up, revealing the bottle of mustard seed behind it, and everything goes into the bottle except the cayenne pepper that's never touched. I zoomed in on an image of the mystery bottle from the Blu-ray, and even consulted the full screen edition DVD, since Back to the Future was shot in an open matte widescreen format, which meant that there would be more image on the top and bottom of the full screen edition DVD. Neither one was terribly helpful. It looks like it's just a generic bottle with dark liquid in it. But since we know from the script and the novelization that a bottle of vinegar is supposed to be on the table, we can ascertain that the dark liquid is that. At this point, all of the ingredients from the script and the novelization are accounted for except for the onion. So what I'm just going to say is that Bob Gale thought that there should be onions in this thing, and Chester and Joey didn't agree. But that's okay, because if we listened to everything that Bob Gale wanted, I'd have been arrested for trying to score cocaine. So let's begin. Okay, so the jalapeno juice goes in first, and it looks like there's a fair amount of that in there. Next up is the chili pepper flake, and there's a good healthy pour of that in there. An entire bottle of Tabasco sauce, and this is going to take a while, so I'll probably just pause this and move forward. Okay, a short swig of our dark vinegar is next. And finally, some mustard seed. Looks like there was a good amount of that in there as well. And there you have it. We've mixed up a batch of Wake Up Juice from Back to the Future Part 3. They stirred it with a nice wooden spoon. And theoretically, this should be ready to drink. So what I'm going to do now is bottle this up, put it on my shelf with the rest of my Back to the Future memory. Yeah, you didn't think I was stupid enough to drink this thing, did you? This is vile. I'm not even drunk. I don't need to get sober. What? No. What did you call me?
Chicken!
Well, nobody calls me chicken. So to Back to the Future Part 3. Wow. Okay. It's not horrible, but I'm tearing up. Here. Yeah. I'm tearing up. It's definitely hot. I'm not ready to go running into the trough just yet. Wow, I'm tearing up. This is disgusting. My mouth is on fire. My throat is also on fire. That'll definitely sober you up quick. I don't have too much of a tolerance for this sort of thing. If you want to see me overthink more movies, comment, like, let me know. Until next time, I'm Vinny Savatello, and thanks for watching.